Morning.
All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher.
Literally just come out to do a bit more welding on the crusty Alpha. Look at that. Bloody raining. Oh well, there's other jobs I need to get on with. I can postpone the last little bit of welding for this side. I do need to clean out the give the suspension arms front and rear and shockers and springs and all that, give them a rub down with the wire brush and clean them up. Now I'm going to jet wash it under the arches in preparation for some wax oil rust proofing. So let's get on with that and get wet. Never mind. Not actually too bad in here if you come in and have a look. Don't know whether you can see. Yeah, it's mostly just build up of dirt really, but I'm gonna wire brush springs down anything that's I need some light, don't I? Oh god, this is rubbish. Oh well. There we go. So if you can see that, just wants good wire brushing down and jet washing. It's going to be the same for the front as well, really. If we have a look, yeah, just give all these components a wire brush down and then jet wash it all, and it will vastly improve it under there. So I can give it a good rust proofing. Jet wash it all. Once it's all jet washed and cleaned under here, I'm going to take the. I'm not going to. The brakes aren't seized on or anything. They're all good. This just needs stripping down, cleaning, and just give them a lick of silver and aluminium paint to tidy them up, because when the wheels are on you can see these through the wheels and they just look a bit unsightly. So and then if I do this now while it's raining, at least it'll dry later on, and then this will all dry out so I can get on with some other stuff. Let's see what the I'm not going to go too mad with the wire brush because it doesn't really need it, but we'll see what it's like after it's jet washed. That'll make a big difference. It's all good really. Anyway, I'll show you what it's like when I've done it. I've given that a gentle wire brush off and a jet wash under there, and let's see what it looks like when it's dry, but vast improvement. And let's go and have a look at the front. Same here, giving it a good wire brushing and a jet clean under there. We'll see what it's like when it's dry. I think it'll be okay, and then we'll do some rust protection. Yeah, that's cleaned it up quite a bit. But anyway, let's see what it's like when it's dry. There's a few fasteners missing on the plastic inner splash guards. I'll replace them as I go, and just got one last little bit of welding to do there. Started raining, so I couldn't do it. So there was a part of the lip of the sill where the sill joins the floor. There was a bit of lip. It was damaged actually, so I've cut it out. I've got a new nice bit of thick metal ready to go in there, just waiting for the rain to stop, and then I can start rust treating. I'm not in the garage. I'm sitting at the kitchen table this evening. This is not the dashboard dials out of my car. This is a spare one that I picked up from my mate who I bought the car from. This is a spare one he had. This has got 163,000 miles on it. Mine's got 129,000. So I'm not going to direct swap it. The issue I've got with mine is the mileometer and the trip counter have stopped working, and I've done a bit of research, and it appears that the gears inside can strip with age, and I guess, you know, the car sat for nigh on 19 years, so it's no surprise that it gave up after a few hundred miles. The shock of being woken up and having to do some work probably put pay to it. But I don't want to direct swap this for my one, because also I know even though the car sat for 19 years, the batteries appear to still be working in mine, because these have got rechargeable batteries soldered into the board in here. And I don't really want to take mine apart and in case I damage or break anything, so this is my test piece. So I'm going to strip this down and have a look. And also this gauge here is the economy gauge for what it's worth, but mine, the needle should swing backwards and forwards depending on driving conditions, etc. Mine will only go as far as 15, I think. So anyway, so I'm going to strip this one down. I have taken one of these to bits years ago, but I can't remember. So I'm going to refresh myself and just strip it down, and I'm going to have a look at what the gear set is like in here, because my speedo still works. It's just the mileage and the trip mileage has stopped working. So I'm going to take this apart and have a look and see what it's like and inside, and what it's how difficult it's going to be to swap parts over. So I mean, this has got corrosion on these bolts, so whether these well, even though they've got a Phillips head on them, I don't think they're going to work somehow. So I think I'm going to go and find a socket that's going to fit that. Looks like a 7 or an 8. Okay, got myself a 6mm socket driver. Yeah, so I'm sort of glad that I'm probably not going to use this, because looking at the back of it, some of the plugs have got green corrosion on them. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. No, it won't pick it up. But some of these plug connections have got corrosion on them. So I think this is just going to be a donor dash pod. So let's just take it apart. Let's have a look. See what's inside. Like I said, just want to refresh myself really. have stripped one of these down before, but I don't want to strip my good one down in case I end up doing something I shouldn't do, and then I'm going to be right up Queer Street, aren't I? So let's get this apart. Let's have a quick look inside, because I'm hoping I might just be able to swap parts from this into it. See that? Now you wouldn't believe that, would you? I've already had one. Now, I don't know if you can pick that up. Look at the size. You know, that's a like a self-tapping bolt. It should be that long, but it's actually snapped off in the plastic. So this is always a worry. Yeah, that one's. I think that one's snapped off as well. Yeah, another one that's snapped off. So maybe it was just the storage that's created that problem. But anyway, let's have a look. There we go. So yeah, you can see there, that one stripped off, and then that one in there stripped off, but never mind. This should come apart somehow. I think there's something else I haven't undone, and there's a little tiny nut at the back there. That's probably what's holding that on. We'll see if this. I'm probably not doing this very delicately. Let's take that one out of the back there. I don't know if that's like an earthing point or something, just a nut. No. I don't really know what I'm doing here, if I'm honest. Okay, that could. I'm not sure if that just lifts out. No, it can't be that easy, surely. Must be something more. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research before I continue, I think, because I don't want to knowingly break something, because I'm a bit heavy-handed, so I've just got to make sure I've got to be careful with this. Something missing along there, I'm sure. Right, I'm just going to pause a minute and have a look how I separate these dials from, yeah, I can see it, there's a lot of oxidization on this circuit board, so excuse me, some of this stuff could be pretty much toast. So whether any of this is going to be of any use, I don't know. No, anyway. Well, I'm glad I've taken this apart, because this one's toast as well. So I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick this up. But just in there, with a screwdriver, there should be a cog in there. And it appeared to be like gooey, and a gooey type substance. So when I touched it, it literally all fell apart. Maybe you can I can get this to focus. It's a shame. But yeah, right in there would have been a cog there. I just touched it, and it's literally just all disintegrated. So that's what's left of a cog. It's just like, I don't know, it's just a gooey mess. So this is probably the same as what's happened to mine then. I believe you can buy just the cogs for these, and I don't believe it's the big one. It's just this little one that goes. So I think tonight I'm going to, yeah, because if I do that, then yeah, I can get the those two moved. So it's just one cog that's literally disintegrated. There we go, see if I can get some more of it out. It's not focusing. But it's just these and probably other 80s or 90s BMWs suffer the same fate. So now I know what I've got to do, and mine has probably done exactly the same. That particular cog has just deteriorated. I can see other cogs in there moving, so I'm hoping it's just that one. You buy a kit, I think there's 3, or maybe there's 1, 2, 3. There'd be 4 cogs in there, and so whether you can see this, so just in there's 2 cogs, one on top of each other, and then you've got this white one, that's the 3rd cog, but the one that actually drives it is one that sits right on there, and it's just fallen apart. It's just, as soon as I got this out of the housing and I started to have a look, and I could see that it had sort of like blown a little bit, if you know what I mean, like sort of swelled up, and it's just literally disintegrated. It's no more. So, because I think you can strip all this down into component parts and you can change all 4 cogs. But these other ones, the 3 that are on here, these feel very firm and still plastic like they were when they were made. Just that particular one is just just let go. It's just totally fallen apart. So because that one's easily accessible through this opening here, I'm going to get the kit and I'm going to just change that one initially and see how it goes. I'd obviously prefer to keep my unit because of the mileage, but there is a way of changing the mileage on. It's not flicking them like they did in the old days. You know, flicking around, you can't do that. You have to take the pin out and do it, and I do know how you do that. So anyway, so let's put this to one side, and we'll have to continue when I've got the replacement cogs. So sorry I couldn't show you this in its entirety, you know, disassemble, reassemble, but what I am going to do, because I'm going to strip mine down to access the cog, I am going to swap this over into mine, because like I say, this mile per gallon gauge is not working on mine, so I'm going to put this into mine and see how it goes. But I can't remember where the batteries were on these. I've got a feeling, let's take that out again in a bit. before I do damage. Yeah, there they are, just out of sight. So just up here, behind this section, you can't access it. You have to split the board away from this plastic housing, probably by taking the. I don't need. No, you don't need to take the bulbs out. But yes, so this needs to be separated, isn't it, in its entirety, and you get the batteries at the back there. Because I can just see them now. You won't be able to pick it up on camera. Just in there where my fingers wiggling. So, and they're soldered in. You can't just take them out and pop new ones in. You've got to desolder them and resolder. And they're rechargeable batteries, and they work this service gauge. So most BMWs of period had this. I know this is upside down. I should put it up the right way, really, shouldn't I? But there is your service interval. So it's got the green lights that go down and down, down and down. You get the amber, then you get the red. Just a service indicator. And these batteries, when they go bad or they leak, they're notorious for causing all sorts of dashboard problems. I did read somewhere that someone reckoned the batteries gave them a non-start issue. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, they can be problematic. So, sorry about that. We'll have to come back to this when I've got the parts. But in the meantime, the next clip, you'll see me on the Alpha. Next job on the Alpha's list is attempt to try and make a really good repair of this. Obviously we got corrugated floor pan, where we got the strengthening ribs in the floor pan. I don't just want to put a flat plate in there because it won't look good. I've tried to make a plate up that's got the ribs in it. I'm finding it very difficult at the moment. Trying to think of a solution. But what I've done, I've currently cut a plate out to that size, and I'm going to try and shape it as I weld it. You know, tapping and beating, and let's see what it's going to look like. I'm not going to film it because I'm a bit limited for space in here. So I'm going to do this repair and then I'll show you afterwards. Just taking a few precautions. Got a couple of fire extinguishers there. Obviously I'm going to have to go really careful in here. Bits of trim, cables. Obviously got the fuel tank under there. Put a blanket there that I've thoroughly soaked in water with my hose pipe, just as a preventative measure. You know, any sparks or flying bits of metal, just want to take as much precaution as I can. So there's the repair panel I've put in. I had to do it in 3 parts because I just couldn't do it all in one go. I've obviously put some seam sealer over the welds just to give it some watertight protection. I did brush treat it first, then put the seam sealer on, and there's some of the other repairs I've done, and I've prepared with some rust treatment on parts where the underbody sealant was peeling off, so I peeled it back, cleaned up the surfaces and rust treated. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to spray on the body shorts and get that little bit done. Now that's done. Now that's all prepared. Just a bit of paper just to stop it spraying up the side of the car, which it will do. Let's see what it looks like afterwards. Maybe in a minute. This is the product I'm using, Tetrasil stone chip. It's good stuff. You do need a compressor and a spray nozzle to do it. but it gives you almost like manufacturer's type finish. So let's get spraying this on, and I'll take you in and show you what it looks like afterwards.
Still at it.
Yeah, still at it.
Still at it.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't put it in there.
I'll just put it on the bonnet, that'll be alright.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I wanted to do that once then.
Mate. Yeah.
Cheerio. I've shot a load of body shorts inside as well, so I did seam seal inside the car, and I've body shortsed, so because you've got the sound deadening black stuff there, so I just shot a load of body shorts in here, just to make it match up a little bit, I suppose. But then once the underfelt and the carpet's gone back down, it's not going to be seen anyway, but I wanted it to give it the best protection possible. And I've repaired the inner sill, that bit of suspension area there. There was a tiny bit of rust, so I welded a new piece of metal in there and kept the oval shape. And this is the bit of floor pan that I've repaired. I mean, I've kept the shape, I've kept the strengthening bits in the floor. I would have liked an invisible repair, but I just couldn't do it, just couldn't manage it. So I think that looks better than a flat plate across it. So I've managed to create something like what the floor pan would have looked like. But I did have to seam seal it to give it some water protection, you know. And then I've shot a load of body shorts over it to give it that longevity. And then I've gone all the way along the sill, just along the bottom there, and then the bits of body sealant that are peeled off from factory, I've reshot some body shorts on there, and on that strengthening bar there that had surface rust on it, so I've cleaned all that up, sprayed body shorts on there as well. So it's going some way to give this car a bit more longevity. Obviously I've got the wax oiling to do yet on the suspension components, and anything else that's metal that's a bit crusty, just give it some wax oil. That'll be on the next bit of video. So the next bit of video will be cleaning or stripping front and rear calipers up, cleaning them up, re-lubricating them where necessary on the pins and stuff, and make sure the pads are not a tight fit, and make sure that they've got some movement in them, stop any binding or anything like that. So yeah, so I'm going to stop waffling and see you on the next